There's been something on my mind for the past couple of days that I've been thinking about. Something I think that's very strange or peculiar. Well, not strange nor peculiar, hypocritical. Hypocritical is a good word there. Let me start this off by saying it is true that I have done quite many videos on the topic of slut shaming. And I will probably continue to make videos about slut shaming until I hit about 100,000 subscribers. Nah, even then, I'd probably still make videos about slut shaming. So yeah, I've made quite a few videos on the topic of slut shaming. Now, let me explain why. The reason why I've made so many videos on the topic is because, well, there's a lot of things about that topic that bother me. Particularly, the word itself. Okay? Slut shaming bothers me because it makes the assumption that the girl in question is a slut, when she may not necessarily be a slut. So, if you say you should stop slut shaming a girl, well, she's not a slut, so, you can't stop something you're not doing. You're not shaming a slut. You would be shaming some other girl. So I always think that maybe a much more accurate word to use there would be sex shaming. You're not shaming the girl for being promiscuous, you would be shaming her for having sex, right? So wouldn't sex shaming be something? So that's something I could co-sign with. The slut shaming, on the other hand? Nah, I don't really think I can. So there's that aspect. It does bother me. The reason why I make all the videos, though, is because, honestly, I do care. I do genuinely care about these sluts. Or more particularly, I care more about their progeny, Because, one of the two things is usually going to happen with these sluts, right? They're going to end up getting pregnant by some guy that doesn't like them, or the guy's going to leave, or they're going to get an abortion. So, their kid kind of suffers for the sins of their mother and their father. So, yeah. And also, I don't think it's a particularly good idea to go tell people to be so promiscuous while having the option of celibacy or the option of abstinence as just something there, It's very strange to me. Why don't you just encourage the person to go do what they think is best with some level of wisdom? But no, whenever people talk about slut shaming, it's always go have a bunch of sex. But if you don't want to, that's cool too. But no, you should go explore your options, which I find to be a very strange thing to do for a number of reasons. But we're not going to talk about that today in today's video. One thing I want to talk about in today's video is standards. I want to talk about the fact that a lot of sluts, or a lot of women, don't think that they should be judged based on the amount of dick they have received in the past. Some of these women don't find that shit to be important. I'm going to play you guys a clip from Jack McGlynn's video. I want you guys to check this out.
I would completely give my partner my honest and true number because that's just a sketchy thing to lie about.
Yeah, I would give my partner my honest, true number.
I would totally be honest. You shouldn't hide anything from your partner if they want to know it.
I would definitely be honest, but I don't think it should matter.
People should be honest about that sort of thing, and if you're ashamed, then where are you getting that shame from? Are you getting it because you truly yourself are ashamed of it, or are you ashamed because people are making you feel ashamed?
I don't think it's morally wrong, what a person does. It's everybody's, judgment of what they want to do with their life.
I think it's really insignificant in a grand scheme of things because who you are as a person should be the telling of how the relationship is going to be, and I wouldn't want to be with someone that was judging me.
For starters, I have a couple of gripes about that video, or both her videos she made revolving around the topic of slut shaming. The first gripe I have about that video actually might be the only one, and that's the fact that she only picked people who agreed with her. It wasn't really a collection of different opinions. Everybody in that video had the same opinion, so it just kind of didn't matter. Why would you show multiple people sharing the same exact opinion, just displaced and out of time, right? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, there's that. The fact that all of her friends were, in agreement with her. So she just basically just had a bunch of people tell her the same shit she already believed. So, yeah. Now, if she would have made a video where she had multiple different opinions from different people, that would have been a fantastic video. I would have actually clicked the like button. Seriously. She had a bunch of videos from some Christians, from atheists, some Muslims, some Jewish people, some Buddhists, talking about how they feel different religions, you know, some conservatives, some libertarians, some liberals. If she would have done a video like that, people from different spectrums of the political sphere, or just different people in general talking about sluts and promiscuity, that would have been a fantastic video, because we would have been offered up to a bunch of different opinions. But nah, it was just the same opinion over and over again, which is why I'm not really going to respond to it in full. Jacqueline's video, on the other hand, I'm going to be talking about. So this will be a preface to Jacqueline's video that I'm going to respond to, because someone asked me to quite some time ago, but I haven't gotten to it because I had strings on me. I wasn't free, but now I'm free. So, getting back on topic, the fact that these women think that the number of people they've had sex with shouldn't matter. And I've heard people say that a lot, that it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter how many people you've had sex with. You should be able to go about and have as much sex as you want, and all of the dick I got in the past should not affect our current relationship. Well, I say, if that be the case, young lady, if it is true that the amount of dick you received in the past should not matter, let me ask you a very important question. Why is the height of the man you wish to date matter? Why does the amount of money the guy makes matter? I mean, we're talking about shit that doesn't matter here in a relationship. Height doesn't change the fact whether or not someone can love you. Shit, the amount of money someone has doesn't change the fact of whether or not they can love you. So, with stuff like that that doesn't matter in the relationship, why is that an important criteria to you, ladies? Why does it matter how tall a guy is? Let me ask you another question. Why does it matter how big his dick is? I mean, a dick is just a dick, right? I mean, it still works. It's still a penis. I mean, as long as it's over, 4 inches long, which is, about the size of your uterus anyway, I mean, it should be fine, right? So why does penis size matter? The amount of guys you've had sex with, that doesn't matter. Oh, but how tall somebody is, that is very important criteria. That is bullshit to me. I really do. I really think that's a crock of shit. You can't simultaneously tell me that the amount of people you've had sex with doesn't matter, but how tall I am does. Now let me be clear. I'm actually a very tall person. I don't have that problem. I don't have to worry about a girl rejecting me based off my height. Well, actually, if she wants a guy who's 6'4", then I kind of have to worry about that shit, because I'm about 5 inches too short. Or maybe I'm 6 feet tall now, I don't fucking know. The point is, I'm a tall guy. I don't have to worry about some girl saying I'm too short, unless she wants a basketball player. And, well, then you're kind of catching my drift here. A lot of short guys really do have that problem. A lot of short guys get the short end of the stick, no pun intended, because girls don't find them attractive. But how tall you are shouldn't matter in terms of how you're going to love someone or how you're going to provide for them. So why does that matter in a relationship, but the amount of guys you've had sex with doesn't? How does your number not mean anything? Here's another thing that really confuses the shit out of me. If it doesn't matter how many people you've had sex with in the past, why in the fuck would you need to go experiment with all of these people? I mean, it shouldn't affect your current relationship, so what was the point in all that exploration? You would think the point of all of that exploration was actually so you could learn what you liked about having sex, so you could learn what gets you off. And if that was the point of all that exploration, all that sex you had does have an effect on the person you're currently dating. So that's still bullshit. I mean, the whole situation is just nonsense. It doesn't make any sense to me. How is it that women can reject men based off of superficial shit that really doesn't matter in a relationship? But in the topic of intimacy, sex doesn't even mean the same thing to you as it does to a man who's waited for himself to have sex with one person. You two very clearly don't view intimacy as the same thing. You view intimacy as something you share with a bunch of strangers. He sees intimacy as something you share with 1 or 2 or maybe 3 people. Something he doesn't do with a bunch of girls. If you two see intimacy as something completely different, everybody you've had sex with does have an effect on your relationship. Except how tall he is doesn't. How tall he is only matters on whether or not you're attracted to him. So, I'm still confused as to how in the hell it's perfectly okay for a woman to say, nah, you're too short, I can't be with you. But for some odd reason it's slut shaming if a guy says, you've sucked quite a few dicks, I'm not all that attracted to that shit. tip my invisible hat to you, I'm gonna go the opposite direction. Why exactly is that wrong? I don't know. It's very peculiar to me. I would imagine that the only reason why it's wrong is because it's wrong or misogynistic to have any negative opinion on what women do. That's what I think it is. I don't really think it's that these girls really honestly think that the amount of sex they had doesn't matter. Otherwise, most women wouldn't lie about that shit. I mean, so, yeah. But I don't know. I just really been thinking about that. It's really been on my mind lately because I just think it's nonsense. I mean, these people think that you can go off and have a bunch of sex and that it's not going to have any effect on your relationship that you have in the future, when it very clearly will. I mean, all of the things you learned about yourself while having a bunch of sex with these people does have an effect on your current relationship. I mean, it's a positive, it's a pretty good effect, but I mean, let's not bullshit or kid ourselves. I mean, hell, it might be a negative or detrimental effect. You might actually have a very difficult time attaching to this guy mentally and emotionally because of all of the other guys that you gave yourself away to. Then, once again, all the people you've had sex with has an effect on the guy that you're currently with. However, superficial shit, like the shoes that he wears, the car that he drives, how tall he is, and whether or not he has nice features, doesn't really change anything in terms of how you guys are going to relate to each other. All it changes is whether or not he makes you wet. And if that's important to you, then I would imagine that him saying, I don't want to date you because you had a bunch of sex, is important to him. Basically, at the end of the day, the message of the video is this. If a woman can have superficial criteria on the men that she wants to date, then it should be perfectly fine for a man to have a bunch of criteria on what he doesn't want to date. Of course, this is the subject matter of the video, the double standard of having standards. If you haven't seen that video series, go check it out. But I just wanted to make a little more condensed video talking about this situation. I think it is utterly ridiculous to have these ladies, you know, these feminists, these sluts, or these other girls who want to be all sexually liberated, to say that their sexcapades don't matter. However, the height of a man is pretty fucking important when they want to find a guy to date. So with that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, man, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below, and as always, have a great day. I will see you cool cats soon. Adios.